Hi, it's Anthony Ramos from GLAAD. Cynthia, thank you again. I want to talk to you about Ryan Murphy because I know it was always his dream and his intention to have you and Sarah play Gwendolyn and Mildred. What does it mean for you to be a part of telling this story and bringing it to TV?
Um, it's really exciting to be in the Ryan Murphy universe, and it is particularly exciting to be playing a queer woman opposite Sarah Paulson, who is also playing a queer woman. I think these are really deeply fascinating, many faceted characters, and I think these kind of lesbians who are part of American history that have been all but erased in our movies and our TV shows. Ryan is working so hard to put us back into the narrative. And I know for me, in trying to imagine who Gwendolyn was and what she acted like and how she dressed and everything, I really focused on a real person named Lorena Hickok, who was Eleanor Roosevelt's lover, who was a newspaper journalist, kind of hard drinking, kind of moving very much into man's world, kind of one of the boys who had a series of very passionate love affairs, and who, Eleanor Roosevelt was the love of her life, and it there was a lot of heartbreak there. So I feel like we have so many people like that whose shoulders we stand on, that it's important to bring the real ones back to our attention, but also ones out of our own imagination too.
Gwendolyn is such an amazing character. She's a woman in politics. She's finding her new chapter. She's a woman, like I said. It sounds like I bet you were able to draw from your own personal experiences into playing her. What were some of the your own experiences that you put into, channeling and making this character?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think this is certainly maybe a reason why Ryan thought of me for this part, because of the politics. Um, but I have to say, my experience in politics is pretty different than Gwendolyn's. Although I do feel like there's still quite a lot of sexism, and when you're a woman running for office, that is still a big factor. And I was always fascinated on the campaign trail. I could gauge people's reaction if I was wearing a dress or if I was wearing a pantsuit. They would respond much more favorably to me if I was wearing a pantsuit.
What do you think Gwendolyn would say if to any young LGBTQ people who may be thinking today that their vote doesn't matter? What do you think? How do you think she would handle that situation?
I think that Gwendolyn would give them a very serious talking to. I would think as a woman, she would still have, in mind how hard women fought for the vote. And I think she would say to them, if you're only as much an American as you exercise your rights, and there is no more important right that we have than the right to vote. And so many people died to make sure that all of us have the right to vote, and we must take it seriously.
Let's talk a little bit more about Sarah Paulson because the two of you is such a powerhouse pairing. It's funny, you're kind of new to the Ryan Murphy world. She's been there since the beginning. What was it like to go through that experience with her?
Well, Sarah and I are been really good friends for quite a while, and so it was, it's a little intimidating entering the Ryan Murphy universe, and so it was really nice to know that my friend Sarah was there, at the center of it all. And it was, amazing to see her take on such a huge and monumental role and just fill every inch of it. But it was also exciting to see her step into the shoes of executive producer for the first time, and to see how seriously she took that. And honestly, it reminded me of Sarah Jessica Parker, and when she became an executive producer on Sex and the City, how seriously she took that job, and what a beautiful contribution that both women made, not only to making the show as good as it could be, but also when you're an actor and there is another actor at the helm, it's so important to be able to approach that person, and who understands what it's like when an actor comes with a problem or a question. They know you can speak in shorthand. They know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, thank you so much for telling the story, and thank you for the time. It was a pleasure to talk to you again.
Yeah.